Well, welcome back into 2025's real-time series using Rol-ARTdex cards. This has been such a wonderful period of time for me. I was very surprised how much I enjoy creating the Rol-ARTdex. It's just been a lot of fun. So today I'm just pulling in some collage materials. Some of these are scrapbook papers that are heavier, hence I'm using the super Fabri-Tac to get it glued down. And I'm going to come in with their gel printed paper. It's a gel printed paper that I used a lot of texture mediums on my gel plate, just kind of experimenting, and I pulled it with some of that tissue. It was like heavyweight tissue that came in a pair of shoes, and it's just a really good contrast, the lighter weight paper with the heavier weight items on it. And that paper you can see is off to the left of my hand, and it is mostly done in kind of fallish type colors. And I used stencil butter on it. I used some of the texture paste. I think it's Distress grit paste, Snowfall on it, and some other mediums that I'm just not thinking of. It was a while ago. And I'm going to get all that collage down onto my card. For the rest of the lighter weight papers, I'm just using my standard TCW Gel Medium for that.
Leave me stranded, I know how to handle it all on my own. On my own.
Free flowing, sailing with the wind, not knowing how this story ends. Kind and brave, I know you'll find a way. Live your truth and good will come to you.
So this is that paper I was talking about earlier. It has a ton of texture on it, and it was a lot of fun. It's something I want to continue experimenting with, was putting those texture mediums onto my gel plate and doing some gel printing with it.
Build
that I have that dry, I'm going to trim this out. It is one of the my favorite things to do. It's my favorite thing to do with mixed media iCAD, and the same is true for Rol-ART-dex. So I get all that collage, and then sometimes I trim it down, and I'm just so surprised by what is left, what I have left to create with, and it's kind of a fun process.
Nothing's hard, everything is easy with you around. No bombards, everything is easy when you come around.
And generally when you see me cutting them down for the Rol-ART-dex, how I handle inside the application place where it attaches to the Rol-ART-dex, I do not cut that off. I've learned early on that when you're pulling or moving that Rol-ART-dex card, if you cut it off straight across that top edge, then it just ends up catching on the Rol-ART-dex and ripping that paper. So I always try and remember to either glue it down or tape it down onto the back side of that card. And for some reason, probably just because I have that super Fabri-Tac glue out and available to me, I ended up using that. It's a little overkill for those little tabs of thin paper, but that is what I chose to come in and glue that down with.
Hold on now. Don't let go.
Now, one of the nice things that I've done by using the different papers I have on this Rol-ART-dex is the fact that there is some tissue back there. It's a napkin. There, I have left part of that Rol-ART-dex card itself. This is one of the watercolor Rol-ART-dex. It's going to absorb, all those papers are each going to absorb color differently. So I'm coming in with some forest moss in the Distress spray stain, and I'm going to get some water added to get that movement going, and watch as how it gets absorbed into the different papers that I have on this card. It's always a joy. One of the things I truly love about collage work on my surface of my substrates. It's a wonderful place to get started. I also generally let my collage also kind of dictate what my colors are going to be as well.
Down on the banks of the Old Man River, heavy air calling rain. They say if she keeps up and delivers, the levee will break again. Tell me, what could you do there?
This red piece of collage that I'm going to be adding a little bit more spray stain around, it is actually fabric from a vintage book, and it fell off in my hand, and I saved it because it was delectable, and I knew it was going to be used as a wonderful piece in some type of collage. And it's really neat, the end result of this card, the way that color, the red pops, and then the darkness of that. This card, the background of this card almost feels to me like not unmovable waters, like a pond that doesn't have much aeration, so it kind of becomes swampy and overgrown. And that's kind of how the feel of this has for me. And then adding that color near where all that texture is that I had gel printed, and it just wicks in to the lower parts of the paper and leaves the color of the whatever was gel printed. the raised areas of the texture in its natural color, and I just love that effect. It's just like maximizing the texture that's on this card, and it always gets me.
Go by foot and march back down to the water. Dry on up and every single step it kicks up dust from the water. rolARTDex down on the banks of the old man river.
Well, it's time to start to put together a focal, and initially I thought about these little mini paper dolls. They're very similar to the other ones except for they're thinner and they're smaller, so they're not all that cardboard that's behind the other ones. And I knew I wanted a child for this, but spoiler alert, I do not end up using these mini paper dolls for this card's focal. I go in a completely different direction, but that's okay. This led up to that, and I got there.
Standing on the door, I'm on my way.
And I decided to go ahead and leave all this in so that you can see the process of how I got to changing my mind about my focal. So bear with me, we'll get there. But I was really sold because as I was collaging, I just had this idea of a child amongst all this vegetation. In my mind, that's how that background is. It's vegetation. And so I just was going with it until it became clear to me that that's not the direction I needed to go.
Stand up and take it as I go. Do it alright, do it okay. Stronger than ever. Faded, it's not a shade of mine. All in all, I'm doing fine. Do it alright, do it okay. Setting up a goal to grow from heart. It's all about to master who we are. Nobody's gonna make me feel I'm off the chart. Do it alright, I'll do it okay. Stand up and take it as I go. Do it alright, I'll do it okay. Stronger than ever. Faded, it's not a shade of mine. All in all, I'm doing fine. Do it alright, I'll do it okay. I'm gonna hold the line, and I'm gonna be just fine. Do it alright, do it okay, and take it as I go. Do it okay, stronger than ever. Faded, it's not a shade of mine. All in all, I'm doing fine. Do it okay. Oh, faded, it's not a shade of mine.
All right, so I've pulled out my words box and I am looking for words, and I am very, the first thing that came to my mind was the wonder of a child, like investigating their surroundings. When I was a kid, I was brought up I lived for 3 years in the mountains, and I was pretty much on my own for quite a while, a lot of the day. And it was so much joy I had during that period in my life. My surroundings brought me joy, and I was trying to kind of focus in on that wonder and excitement that I felt during that period in my life, which is what that background just always brings me to. And so I was just really focusing and looking for something that would convey that. And you know how the words are. Sometimes they can be a real challenge. And it was just a matter of finding the right words. And I was going to persevere through this and find them. And once I found them, that's kind of when I knew that I needed to change my direction in my focal and let the words speak for themselves.
I remember urban songs, decades old, but it doesn't matter. Stumble across old memories, try to recall before they all shatter. She kept dreaming of a world big enough for everyone, but she knew it must rain before it rose. She kept dreaming of the day butterflies survived the wheel, even though she could knock down and never show. Dear Lily, where'd you go? Where's your heart at? Why'd you fall back lately?
So first it came to me to alter the word joyfully into joyful and get that cut down, because my words were going to be joyful journey, because this is always such a joy-filled journey for me, creating that background and seeing where it leads me. So that is initially what I started to do. And then these chipboard pieces are really thick, so I always pull them back. I save that cardboard because I like to use them to build up other things when I want something to be elevated off the page. And it's right in here that I get the idea to use some of this. Now this is a piece of paper that I have used some rust powder on from Paperdolls and some Paperdolls Bister in green on, and I felt it would go very beautifully, and I decided that that was going to be the background for my words, which are in turn going to become my primary focal.
It's so hard to be near you. You make it hard for me to breathe. And I can't stand to see you smile, 'cause it kills me from within. Your voice is like an arrow that pierces me through the heart. And your touch is like fire that will burn my skin. I wish that I could say what I really feel.
So I edged those words with some vintage photo by Ranger Tim Holtz. This is the Distress Archival ink. And I used it directly from the ink pad itself. I wanted a sharp edge. I did the edge and the sides as well. And then I'm getting it glued down using the Barely Arts Precision Glue. And I wanted it to read like it was a statement. So I put them side by side instead of stacked, and get those adhered to the background paper. And then I'm gonna rip that down.
It's so hard to see you when you are with him. And it's so hard to hear you when he makes you laugh. The ring around your finger is every hour and every day that passes by. If only you could see that it should be you and me. 'Cause I'm in love with you. Yeah, I'm in love with you. I know I'm not supposed to be, but I am. I'm in love with you.
This paper I used for the background of my words was watercolor paper, and whenever I'm ripping paper to collage with, I rip backwards and forwards, so I get no white, white, no white, white. It just felt like there was a lot of white on here, and so I went in and kind of took down some of that white, and I'm still playing with that focal. I thought I would put the words right where I have them right now, kind of as a tab on this card. So I'm still kind of really sold and fighting myself about that little boy and him as my focal. But I'll get there. I'll get there.
Your truth and good will come to you. Home, sweet home. Home, sweet home. Grounded, steady, earth between your toes, arms wide, ready, love is true, you know. Come roll, you can borrow calm, piece by piece, thriving in your palm. Home, sweet home, together.
And here's the moment. I was sold. That was it. So the little boy is going to become a focal on something else. And those words are going to be my focal point and stand alone. And because they are on watercolor paper and I already have that super Fabri-Tac glue out, that is what is gonna glue those down.
Home, sweet home.
I'm a traveling spirit, I've seen many shores, from the West Pacific to the island of Kenya. They treat me like a son anywhere I go, and even though no one can tell, I still feel that I'm